Hello. You may have noticed that I am not Mr. Nikolas Schreck. I am some other guy. The man whose channel this is. Hello, hello, hello. To all of you who can, all you lonely souls who have the means to sign in and watch this on Valentine's Day, which I mistakenly scheduled, thinking it was another, these lame holidays. I can't keep track of these things. Mistakenly thinking it was another regular Friday, but no, it's Valentine's, and I had several pals saying, "Oh, we can't watch it because I'm with my girl, and I myself am in deep shit with the wife over this. Valentine's for us is rescheduled till tomorrow, really, and it's all my fault. But hey, I got to talk to Nick Schreck, and he is just having trouble logging in. Let me see how he's getting on. I'll introduce him for those that don't know. Very fascinating figure, Mr. Schreck. It may take a while, he says. Okay, so I'll be on my own for a little bit. He's got to adjust his browser to log in. Tell him that he can try another browser. Try another browser. Or phone. Anyways, that's all I can do. Anyways, Mr. Schreck, for those that don't know, fascinating figure. And like I mentioned to some people already, that he was formerly a Satanist, a devil worshiper, he would say. And they immediately got sort of up in arms about it. And like, I'm not watching that, and got upset about it. Even ones that aren't overtly Christian. So there's definitely, to this day, he is the foil and the villain. No matter what he does, he can't escape it, I guess. Even though he's renounced that. But his stories are so interesting. And he knows so many people from the scene. He ties together, so many different people, like from being friends with Charlie Manson and Christopher Lee to the early psychedelic and punk scene at the Whiskey A Go Go in California. He's from California. He lives in Germany now. But okay, his background: Nikolas Schreck is an artist, musician, magician, and musician. I think primarily he'd like to be remembered as a musician. I could be wrong, despite all this bad guy devil worship stuff, which is in his past. I should stop bringing that up. Artist, musician, magician. I believe he still, I don't know if he practices magic as a Buddhist, but I know he still believes in it. A writer, ideologue, and mystic. Actor and filmmaker. He not only wrote the book on Manson, the Manson Files, he made a documentary about him. And I believe he's making another film as we speak. Well, he told me what it was about. What was it? I can't recall now. He's filled me with so much information over the last few days that I'm overloaded, but he's continually making the stuff and doing the stuff. He's writer of the Manson File and founder of the innovative horror band, which is also, you must maybe call it a pre-goth, pre-industrial band, Radio Werewolf, which he also considers, I believe, a magic project, not just musical, hitting the charts music. When I was young in the 80s and 90s, Mr. Schreck was a famous TV bad guy. He was a foil, or he would appear on daytime, the chat shows, Sally Jesse Raphael, and these ones, and even the cable access TV, Wally George. And he would sort of, I think, he was who he was, but certainly in the Wally George sense, he would ham it up a bit and add some theatrics. And he was willing to be the foil or villain for all of America during the Satanic Panic. He was like, "Yeah, I'm a devil worshiper. How do you like that?" So that was pretty funny and outrageous. And I believe, despite the theatrics, I believe he was taking it seriously, which is what I want to ask him about. Not being in any way a Satanist myself, despite my appearance. I'm a Platonist and a bit of a pagan, I guess, but raised Catholic, and no way am I a Satanist, and neither is he. So there we go. But I do want to ask him, try to grill him about his mindset during that period a little bit, because I don't know about you guys, but if I was a believing Satanist and believed that I had sold my soul, I would be having a few sleepless nights over the whole Faustian bargain, eternity in hell part of it. So I'd like to know what was going through his mind at that point. I shouldn't give away all my questions for him, though, before he comes on. Yeah. And I don't know that he likes to talk too much about the antics of Mr. Anton LaVey, who he was involved with in the early days. Apparently, that was the official, sort of the legal group of Satanists, the Satanic Bible and all that. But LaVey was apparently, as he really appeared, sort of a showman, like plastic horns on his head kind of guy. And maybe he was up to certain. I don't think he was, at least from what I've seen from Mr. Schreck, he was in no way genuine about what he was practicing, despite all the famous people that were involved. And that's another group that are linked through this, like Mr. Schreck has stories about Sammy Davis Jr. and people like this. And I don't know, just it links together so many crazy people and things. His book on Charlie Manson, he knew Manson personally. And then in the book and the stories, it was revealed all these actors and characters that were also linked to the whole thing. Steve McQueen and Peter Falk and all these crazy, like, there's so much insanity. And the whole, how California in that time was probably the nucleus of what created the modern world as we know it in many ways, because there was the mass hedonism. There was Hollywood, specifically in LA and specifically around Hollywood. There was all these characters, and there was this influence of Eastern mysticism coming in from these yogis, like the ones that the Beatles were getting advice from. And there was the one that influenced David Lynch and also Manson, who was the creator of transcendental meditation, which Lynch, to his dying day, was carrying on about. And obviously, all these artists and famous people we know were very much influenced by the scene there. So there was also this element, along with the yogis, of this Satanism, and along with the hippie debauchery of Haight-Ashbury. And no, he's still trying to get on. Hopefully he can do it. Otherwise, I'll be yapping on my own about Mr. Schreck, and you won't even see him. No, that can't be the case. But yeah, Valentine's. That was a shit move on my part to choose Valentine's. How would I know? It's like even Patty's Day, I might have some awareness of. Valentine's, fucking hell. That's a last minute thing. That's like the day before. The wife tells me, oh, it's Valentine's tomorrow. And then I get up. Oh, there he is. Or someone's there. Someone is trying to enter. It says device is not connected. That doesn't look promising. Hold on. Let me talk to him. He's about to come on, ladies and gentlemen. I see you trying. Need to allow access of mic and cam. Pardon me. He just has to make that one more step when he tries to log on, and it should work. This is my fault, of course. We should have tested it earlier. And I know he's a very careful man, and he probably is doing this to me on purpose to teach me a lesson for not testing. It says it's blocked. Oh, Jesus. Okay, hold on a sec. Can you try your phone? Can you try the phone? And in which case, if it doesn't work out, you can go back to your Valentine's. And I will schedule them for another day. This is my phone, he says. I never had this happen before. Someone says they're blocked. I saw you. It was about to add. Just said turn on mic. He's asking me if we can delay the show until we figure it out. Well, what would I do? Just leave and come back when? What would you guys do? What would you prefer? I can keep talking about it. About his history? Laptop too. How else could we do this? You know what I could do? It's ridiculous. I could hold on. I could ring him over the Facebook, which I'm talking to him on. That is ridiculous. And put it up to the mic until maybe while he's working away as well. Here, I'll ring him anyways and see. Let's see what he says. Let's see what Mr. Schreck says. Speaker, one on speaker. Is he going to answer? He's too busy, probably. Frank Sunnison says Buddhist problems. Well, I don't know. Are Buddhists notorious for technological issues? I saw him at one point, and I was ready to add him, and he just said his mic and camera weren't on. Well, kids, hold on. Make sure you select correct options. Anyways, yeah. So he's a tantric Buddhist now, and he still worships Set, the god Set, I think, who he believed he had a transformative event in Egypt. And I believe he realized that he was not worshiping the devil all along; he was worshiping Set. While at the tomb of a pharaoh, Seti, I think, which is interesting. So he ties together a lot of things. Oh, and definitely Gnosticism. He's definitely something of a Gnostic. I think a lot of his stuff is, whenever he talks, he's a lot of talk of Abraxas and things like this, and how part of the reason he gave up devil worship is through Gnosticism. From what I understand, he came to see which as you know, the Gnostics believe the God of this world is the fake God. Is sort of the Satan figure is actually what we would call God. You don't find many Gnostics around. There was a channel of Gnosticism by this guy. He used to put out really kooky videos. I can't remember his name. Big guy. He used to speak Portuguese. I think he had a drug problem, but it's interesting in an ancient religion all to itself. Abraxas is the overgod, and I believe if there's a god Mr. Schreck now worships, maybe it's Abraxas, but he's not here to tell me for sure. And I think he's definitely asking me to delay the stream, or at least since then he's gone. So how would I delay the stream other than keep on yapping until he either turns up and reschedule it or he figures it out. But I don't know if you guys know StreamYard. I've never had someone say they were blocked, both on their laptop and their phone. Maybe I'll resend them a link. That's an idea. New invite link. One sec. I apologize for this. I apologize. I do. But I saw him there, so I could have added him. He just didn't have his mic on. Keep yapping, friend. Yeah, I can keep yapping. Okay, I might have to yap about something else. Just let me send him this link. I don't know. Yap about something. So, yeah, Gnosticism I could talk about, from what I know of it. I mean, I don't ascribe to that much either because, my reason for my own religious journey, let's say, was in, I was raised Catholic, but I became atheist for a while. And if I made any return to religion, it was through Platonism. So I was definitely inspired by the classics, by reading the classics, the Greek and Romans, of which there's the greatest account And from what I can see, if God has left us a tool or a clue, we're talking about the ultimate sort of level of civilization, or the basis of all civilization as we know it, from Greek art to Roman law and all the rest of it. So whatever they were doing and whatever insights they had, that's what I feel inspired by and feel superstitiously pushed towards, I guess. So I know it's kind of ridiculous. People, it's LARPy, you think, to be praying to Roman gods. But in a Platonist way, you kind of just are sort of monotheistic about it anyways. You can continue in a sort of pseudo-Christian-y fashion, I think. And that's my view. So I always had trouble, not to offend any Christians, with the story, the biblical story, and the just even that whole pantheon. When I realized it's just basically a paganism of a certain tribe of people, like the same thing. It's every bit as sort of ludicrous as some of the other stories. It just applies to that certain tribe of people. Then it really loses its charm. And part of the reason I wouldn't go and get into Gnosticism is that it's still kind of related to the biblical pantheon. And that's also anything to do with Satanism. Like, I wouldn't have any belief in Satan or any of that, because it's totally outside of. It's just part of that particular myth, and the dualism of that story is kind of crazy. Like, even I was going to ask him about, and I will if he can manage to get on. Ask him about the Richard Ramirez and all that, and how he was buddies with him, and he had a vision of him while he was meditating and doing his Buddhism there in Germany. He had a vision of seeing Ramirez, and Ramirez was like, "Hey, buddy," or something, like talking casually, but he was in chains and looked like he was being led off somewhere. And I believe Mr. Schreck understood that he was being led off to hell, and that I think the same day he died, Ramirez, in jail in America. So, like, I wanted to ask him, what is his conception of hell? Is it this forever place that the Christians believed in? I don't even know what a Gnostic idea of hell is, if the Gnostics believe that God himself, the God of the material world, is totally evil, and there's this hidden Abraxas figure. It's all so crazy and relative. Like, where do these Gnostics even get this crazy stuff? Anyways, it's interesting. Just like Hermeticism is very interesting. I've always had an interest in that. But yeah. Well, he's not replying to me now. So I don't know. I'll talk for a bit longer. How long have I been talking? 20 minutes. How about that? I've had later ones. And was it Amanda Milius, I think, left me hanging for like a half an hour at least of just yapping and like, oh. So it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. But I don't know what he's doing. It doesn't appear to be trying still. He said, can you delay it for a bit? I'm assuming he means delay you by talking about whatever. Oh, his Manson stuff, which we probably will avoid because I've heard him talk about it a million times over. He was friends with Charlie Manson too. And he knows, oh, someone's here. It says device is not connected again though. He's trying though. You need to connect your mic. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I see you trying. But no mic connected. Honestly, this has never happened before. I mean, it's new to me. Of course, shit like this can always happen, and we should have tested it. So I'm sorry. My apologies. I'm not giving up yet, but let's say I'm closer to giving up than I was. If you'd even answer this little phone call, maybe. Try once more.
Hello there.
How's it going?
Yeah. Okay. No matter what I do, the camera turns on, but not the mic, no matter.
Okay, on both phone and laptop, yeah?
You're echoing a lot. I can't really hear you.
Oh, that's because I have you on the, you're on the stream, actually. Because I'm still stalling it. I'm just talking nonsense. I was talking about Gnosticism there. So, I don't know if you, it's the same on your laptop and your phone. I've never had that happen before.
Nor have I. So I think we might have to delay this and do it once I have figured out how to sign up to this, because it doesn't work.
Okay. All right. Well, that's too bad. Yeah, we should have tested it. Okay, sure. I guess we have to. So, sorry.
I will try again, and then I'll let you know if I can get through. But I think we need to postpone it. We should have tested beforehand.
Yeah, for sure we should have. Okay, no problem. Let's do that. Okay, bye bye.
All right.
Bye bye.
Talk to you.
So that's it, kids. Probably not going to work. So you can go back to your Valentine's dates. Oh, and I can go back to the wife. She can be happy. She can feel happiness. Yes, actually, she will be happy about this. So it's a good ending, in a way. Rick D says, "Where did you first learn of him, Brendan?" I would have seen him back in the day on TV. I remember seeing him on TV, being interviewed for being a devil worshiper. And then recently, how did I come across? I was just on YouTube. I came across randomly, maybe recommendations. Why did he come up, or what was I looking for? I might have. Was it that I came across the Zena Schreck interview with his ex-wife, Anton LaVey's daughter? It had an interview with Jordan Peterson, and I listened to a bit of that, and maybe it got recommended after that, and I was like, "Oh, that guy! I remember this guy. He had his ear cut off, and all this crazy stuff." And I started watching his videos, and I didn't realize how, first of all, how he was interconnected with all these famous people and these scenes and these killers and this crazy Hollywood scene of famous people. He recorded Christopher Lee's first album of operatic stuff. I'm not sure. I haven't listened to it. I think it's Christopher Lee would like to sing a few tunes, and they almost made a movie together. And Shrek has been in films and made a few films, and I don't know. He's just always he's lurking behind the scenes on any kind of cult art scene, and still is, even though he's in Berlin now. So that's how I heard of him. So I thought this is an interesting fellow to talk to. And from what I heard on another video, it's really unfortunate we can't sort this out, and we didn't test it because it seems like if you let him go, set him off and let him go, he'll talk for like 3 hours, and the information will be amazing. But listen, I don't see any sign of him. So that's it, kids. That's the first one I had that was a total dud. That was a failure, I think. Yeah. Although I did talk a bit about Gnosticism for you and his history, so I don't have to introduce him next time. And I don't know. He's got the link, so if and when and how he can get that working, we'll set it up again. And that's it. Nice little half-an-hour stream for you. Back to your Valentine's dates. Goodbye.